everyone, it's James, and holy crap, he's removed the screen door. What is going on here? Well, I've removed the screen door because I'm going to try to make something better. And I'll explain what it is. This is we have Winnebago Echo, it's a Class C, and this is the screen door from it. And this is a fairly typical configuration for an RV screen door. Now, but for those of you who aren't familiar with this is kind of how it works. It's different from the screen door on your house. So like on your house, the screen door is on the outside and it opens out. The regular door is on the inside and it opens in. And there's like a gap, like a 4-inch, 5-inch gap between the two of them, right? In an RV, that's all turned on its head. The screen door is inside and the door is outside, and they both open the same way. And so these two doors are always like right up next to each other, especially when you close them. And that creates some problems. And so there's like sliding panels and stuff so you can open one without the other. We'll get into all that. Anyway, so fairly typical. And there were some things about this door that I actually kind of liked. So first is this screen on the back. It's this pretty heavy wire mesh screen. It would keep a bear in the RV. Not that you want to keep a bear in the RV, but it would keep something like a bear in the RV. It would certainly keep Mel in. So I liked the heavy screen. The other thing I liked about this screen door is that it has like this lock, a little deadbolt. So you could actually, theoretically, leave the screen door closed and the door open, deadbolt it, and go away. Now, it sounds like a cool feature. We've had this RV almost 2 years now, and we've used it once, and it was just to see if it actually worked. So maybe a feature that wasn't so useful for us. But there were a number of problems with this screen door. And the main one was that it rattled like rocks in a hubcap when we were driving along the road. And I tried, I don't know how many different things to fix this door, but it just would continue to, there's even some of this weather stripping that's still on here that I had added to try to quiet some of the rattles. I had tried bumpers here, there, and everywhere, magnets. I had tried like 3D printed things to like hook the one door to the other kind of a thing so you could open them the same, and little bumpers behind that. Nothing. What worked the best was, hey, Steph, would you get up and shove some towels in that screen door? And that actually worked. And so all the time when we were driving around, whenever we'd stop and go out the door, there'd be like these towels falling all over the parking lot. Anyway, rattles, main problem. Problem number 2 is because it moves with the door and you have to close them both at the same time, when you slam your RV door, you're slamming this thing in between. You're making like a big rattle sandwich. And so like it was like, here's me thinking about closing the RV door. It's like, because it would, when you'd close the door, loud, closing the door. But by far, the worst problem with this door, and this would be common to all RV screen doors, was that it was just this goofy orgy of fumbling about when you wanted to use the door. This is another example of how the RV has taken something that's simple that people do hundreds of times every day, like opening a door, and turned it into this event. And here's what I mean. So let's say the door is open and the screen door is closed, and it's starting to rain, or you want to close the door. Well, you can't, it's locked. Slide that open. Can't quite reach the door, so you got to open the door. Come here, latch the two doors together, get back in, slam it, bang. It was always just goofy, and sometimes you'd open the one door and the other one wouldn't come with it, or it would come with it when you didn't want it to. Always just kind of this comical thing to work the door. So those are the reasons why I want to try to do something different. So in thinking what I wanted to do about this, let's go back to our van life roots. So in our last camper van, Lance, we had a screen door of a style that's kind of common in vans nowadays. It was made by Roleff, and when we got it, we proclaimed it the best van screen door ever. And the reasons why we liked it were, it was one of those that kind of drapes, and you closes with magnets and you could walk in and out. It was quiet. It was unobtrusive. It was rolled up out of the way when you didn't want it, and it was there when you did. And, it closed itself because of the weighted magnets and stuff. It was fantastic. We liked it. The only problem with it was it didn't keep the cat in. So, and the problem with that is that the roll-off screen, it has these two magnets which kind of come together on edge. And so, Mel could just like push, his little nose or put his cat hands through the gap and just kind of push his way out. And so if we had the cat and we wanted to keep the cat in, we had to kind of barricade the door to kind of keep, and so that kind of defeats the purpose of a screen door. But I wanted something like that, quiet, unobtrusive, and closes itself, but that would also keep the cat in. And so I've been working on something for like the past couple weeks, and I've got it finished. I've got it installed in our van, Class C. And we'll take a look at it, and we'll see if we think I hit the mark or not. Okay, so this is what I've come up with, and this should look fairly familiar to people. It's just kind of a door that flaps open and shut with magnets. There are magnets that hold it in place, and it closes itself, etc. Now, it's mounted to the door frame. The construction is basically, well, this. We got a little sample here that I made. So the door frame in this RV is metal, and it gets kind of cold. And so I had previously had some insulation on the door frame just to kind of keep it from getting condensation on it. And so I wanted to keep insulation. And so if you look inside the layers of this thing, I've actually got some insulation just like I had on the door before. And then it's two halves. It kind of folds around. There's a lot of sewing for me to get to this, but it folds around the edges of the door frame. So up and over and down like that, right? So it covers both sides of the door frame. Now on the back, there's Velcro. And so there's the fuzzy part of the Velcro all along the edges of the door frame, and that's what it all sticks to. And that's a lot of Velcro. When you get it in place and you're trying to adjust it, something is going to stick. It makes it pretty difficult. Anyway, then to fill up the space where that other screen door was, because then there was kind of a lot of empty space in this door frame, I got this foam insulation, which oddly enough expanded to exactly the space that previous screen door took up. So that's in there taking up the space. But that's basically the gist of it. Now I can show you more on the inside. One of the first things you'll notice is that the bottom of this is like 7 inches or so is solid. That's part of my Mel thwarting features. We'll get to those. Okay, so how is this going to keep Mel the cat in? Well, there are 3 things I've built into this that should help with the problem. So the first, I already kind of alluded to this, the bottom 7 inches or so, it's solid. And that's more just, I think, maybe like a psychological thing. I'm trying to outthink the cat. Like if he doesn't actually see out there, it might not occur to him that that's a way out. So that's kind of just a psychological deterrent. The main thing, though, is that the magnets in the door, and these are 2 of the magnets that I sewed into the thing. There's one sewed into the door frame piece, and there's one sewed into the flat piece. They're these kind of bar magnets, and they come together like that. They don't, so in order to open this, like Mel, if he was going to push his way out, the magnets would have to slide past each other, and that's pretty tough to do. They pull apart this way okay, especially when you get a couple pieces of fabric between them, but I don't think Mel is likely to pull the door back to let himself out. So that's number 2. And then the third, and this is probably the kicker, is that there's this thing across the bottom, this like large bar thing, that's wider than the door itself. And so inside of there, there's a piece of conduit, like metal conduit. And so you can push on that all the live long day. You are not getting out. The only way to get out of this door from the inside is to pull it, and that's why I've put this tab here so that you can actually pull it and open it to get in. You cannot push your way out of this from the inside. Even humans can't. I mean, you'd have to break something to do that. So that's how we're going to keep Mel in, I hope. We'll see if it works. So what are some of the other things I built into this door? Well, since it only opens to the inside, I've attached this kind of pull tab here so you can actually open the door and get it to come in on you. That's one thing. The other thing is, let's say the door is, this is kind of maybe the negative about this, is this door is kind of narrow. It's only 22 inches from here to here, and that's just how wide the door is. So like the diagonal from here to here, where the screen's not going to open, it means we kind of have to duck a little on the way in and on the way out. So this might not work for like really tall people, but that's just kind of fact of life, right? So there might be times though, say like when loading or unloading the RV where you're going in and out, in and out, in and out, when having this and having to duck to get in and out of the screen door would be kind of a pain. So I put on zips. So this whole thing zips up, and then you can just roll it up out of the way. And then a lot of the van life screen doors do this, but then when they get to the top, they've got like either Velcro or snaps or buckles or something like that. And that always look kind of stupid to me, because then when the screens that you've got this strap hanging down in your way, that'll always look kind of hokey to me. So I just 3D printed these little brackets up here, and boom, there you go. You just drop it in there. I could make it look neater. Those are just command taped up there for now. We'll see how that works out for us, but it holds it out of the way, and now completely unobstructed. And listen, we can close the door and just kind of a single thud, nothing, with the screen door rattling around in there forever. Anyway, to set it down, drop it down, zip it, and then you're back in business, right? So that's how it works, more or less. Okay, so that's kind of what I've come up with for now. We're going to be testing this out with Mel. We'll maybe go camping next to some squirrels or something, see how that goes for us. See if he just like tears the thing up trying to get out, or if he escapes easily, or if I've hit a home run with it. We're calling this version 1. I'm not saying there won't be a version 2, but I feel like this is pretty good. So I guess we'll just see. So what do you think? Is this something that you'd like to see on other RV screen doors? Or is there something very obvious that I have completely missed and I'm forgetting that it wouldn't work in this circumstance kind of thing? I'm really just kind of curious. I'm just trying this out. I've saved the old door. Bangy McRattleton is still there in my shop. So I could always put it back if I had to. But we're going to try this out for now. So let me know what you think. If you want to leave comments, ask questions, there'll be a link in the YouTube description kind of down below that'll take you over to a page on the Fit RV with some more details where you can ask questions, leave comments, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's going to do it for now. Wish me luck with Mel, and see you later. Bye.